So, did you ever think in your entire lifetime that you could go to the store and not see the Kohler name brand on any of the engines? Not the walk-behinds, the riders, the zero-turns, the generators. It's gone. Well, that's what's happening. Hang out with me and I'll tell you about it. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. I hope everybody's having a great week. Yes, I ain't lying. Okay, this is so crazy to me. This company has been around for 140 years, has been doing small engines for over 100. Worldwide company, family owned. And as soon as the current stock that has Kohler engines on them right now is sold, you're never gonna see the name Kohler on an engine again. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of saving time, money, and frustration while fixing your own small engine equipment while watching in-depth tutorials, you've come to the right place because that's what I do. I upload a couple times a week, and if that sounds interesting, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and please leave a comment. I love to read through the comments, and I will reply to all the early commenters. So when you think Kohler, there's only a few things that come to mind. Bathtubs, faucets, engines, generators. But the fact is, all you gotta say is the word Kohler, and everybody's heard of it, pretty much in the entire world. So guys, I think it's sort of crazy. I mean, Kohler has been around like 152 years, started out in 1873 when John Michael Kohler started it himself making farm equipment and plows. And this company has been in the family ever since. It wasn't until 10 years later that they started selling bathroom products. And what was that first bathroom product they sold? It was a bathtub that was not meant to be a bathtub. It was actually to scald hogs in, but they sold it as bathtubs. They sold farm animal water troughs as bathtubs. And that is what has turned into this gigantic global company today. In 1920, Kohler started selling the first ever made engine-powered electric generator, and they've had like the best generators for commercial use ever since. In 1948, they started marketing and producing their small engine line for multiple applications and have been one of the leading manufacturers ever since. And the list of their philanthropy, charity and giving is just endless. Philanthropy. Why can't I say it? Philanthropy. I just need to slow down. In fact, Kohler has played a pivotal role in our history. For instance, in 1934, when Admiral Richard Byrd took his second trip down to the South Pole for exploration, he took 7 Kohler generals down with him, only to find that the 5 generators that he left from his first trip down there in 1929 were still working. During World War I, the company produced mine anchors, projectiles, and shells for the U.S. forces. Later, Kohler would turn to the World War II effort with converting most of its production to torpedo tubes, shell fuses, and other military components. And guys, what happened just a few short months ago? Kohler sold to Platinum Equity Global Investments. Now, all of the Kohler products have always been split up into 2 different divisions. There was Kohler Engines and there was Kohler Plumbing. And the Kohler family still owns all of the Kohler Plumbing stuff. And they still own a minority share of the Kohler Engines, where engines and generators still will be produced. So why won't you see the Kohler name on anything? Well, they've rebranded. Move out Kohler, you're fixing to see Rehlko. Rehlko. I don't know how you say it, I'm assuming. But what does that even mean? Well, it's just a quick play on letters. It's actually Kohler, just spelt all jumbly. So what does this mean for the Kohler generators and engines that we've all come to love? Well, for a few years, I don't think much. In fact, when they purchased the company from the Kohler family, all of the contracts from the unions were still in place to keep the factory workers and factories doing the same thing for at least the next 3 years. So according to their availability on their website, you're going to be able to get the same engines that you've been getting forever. It's just going to say Rehlko on it. I think it is quite possible that you might see an issue with parts eventually. They will probably start weeding out a lot of the older stuff. Because although when they bought Kohler Engines, they took on the whole small engine line too, I think this company is mostly out for their gigantic, huge, awesome generators. So far, every press conference you've seen, they pretty much say all the smaller stuff is staying exactly the same, but they have tons of product design and development going into the large generators. Now, why did this private equity firm buy Kohler Engines? Probably because their industrial generators are some of the best ones made. Period. These generators power hospitals, grocery stores. They're the ones that they send for disaster relief to make sure that water's still pumping. Kohler has made sure to stay on top of the game when it comes to this product. In fact, coming out with their KD model, which is their Kohler diesel engine, that is not only perfect for this application, but can also run on vegetable oil. So what do I think sparked the interest of this private equity firm? Although that their KD, the Kohler diesel engine, was already amazing, Kohler started inventing the KDH, the Kohler diesel hydrogen mower. I mean, it essentially, even though it's not running on water, it only has water vapor in the end, so you can pretty much say it's running on water at 0 emissions. It's priceless. Not only that, but Rehlko teamed up with Toyota, okay? I love my 2 Toyotas. They're like the best vehicles ever made. Rehlko teamed up with Toyota to make these generators even better. So, was this sale good for the Kohler family, still keeping a huge stake of equity? Absolutely. Is this going to be great for Rehlko with their cutting-edge technology? Absolutely. Is it going to be good for all of us small engine folks out here? I don't know. Only time will tell, and I'll keep you updated on it. And before I head out, let me throw in this little quick tip of the day. If you go to start up your 2-stroke this season, go to prime it, and nothing's coming through, it looks like there's fuel in it and that it's priming, but the fact is that's pretty much the gas that's staying in it. It's really not moving much. After I press it, it does eventually fill up, like it's seeping through, but it's not really priming it good. So we're going to pull this carburetor off real quick, and we're going to find out if it's a carburetor issue or something to do with the fuel line or fuel filter. Now, the reason that I'm checking it this way, because it's a really easy way to do it, I'm just going to go ahead and put a piece of fuel line on the intake nipple, because this is the return nipple going back into the tank. And I'm just going to stick this down in my fresh fuel, and I'm going to see if it primes any easier without the resistance of this fuel line. Oh, we got some coming out. No, you can see it's just not priming. You should have a full stream coming out, sucking into the carburetor and returning back into the tank, and it's not doing it. So something's stuck in this carburetor. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go in through the primer side, take out these 2 bolts, because on this side there's actually a screen that can get clogged up, and we're going to see if that is the culprit. All right, so I'm just going to pick this screen out here. So I did poke a hole through it, so don't mind that. But if you look at the rest of it, there is a fine silt going through the entire thing that could have definitely made it not able to prime any gas through. So hopefully a new screen will work. And I'm just going to press that in evenly. All right, so I've got my piece of fuel line attached again to the lower nipple farthest away from the primer bulb, and we're going to start priming. Make sure that it's down there in the gas, because you don't want to have it sticking out and think that's your issue still. And we're going to start priming. It's coming, and oh yeah, there we go. Now it is priming very well. So guys, thanks again for tuning into Chickanic. If you find yourself coming back over and over again, think about hitting that subscribe button. It helps out the algorithm to make my videos shown to more people to save them time, money, and frustration in the future. If you ain't tired of me yet, check this video out right here.